President Donald Trump impeached. Now it's on to the U.S. Senate for the trial. Hello, everybody. I'm Juan Fernandez.
And I'm Sarah Donchi in tonight for Susie Suh. Welcome to KCAL 9 News at 8 and streaming on CBSN Los Angeles. It is only the third time in history that a president has been impeached.
The House of Representatives adopted 2 articles of impeachment against President Trump.
KCAL 9's Randy Page joins us live with the latest on this very dramatic day in our nation's capital. Randy.
Boy, was it dramatic. While President Trump rallied supporters tonight in Michigan, House Democrats came together to impeach him for enlisting foreign interference in a U.S. election. President Trump now joins Bill Clinton and Andrew Johnson on the list of impeached presidents.
Article 1 is adopted.
The House voted largely along party lines to impeach President Trump on 2 articles: abuse of power and obstruction of Congress. Democrats argue the president pressured Ukraine to announce an investigation into his political rival, Joe Biden.
We're talking about a president who subverted national security by soliciting foreign interference in our elections, the exact thing our founding fathers feared.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi solemnly opened the 6 hours of debate earlier today, which also unfolded along party lines.
His actions warrant his impeachment and demand his removal from office.
I am proud to have fought against this charade every step of the way, and I will proudly vote no today.
Republicans closed ranks to defend the president and criticize Democrats.
It's about power. Donald Trump has it, and House Democrats want it.
President Trump is only the 3rd president in history to be impeached by the House of Representatives, and a senior administration official tells CBS News the president is upset about what this means for his legacy. The president railed against his impeachment at a rally with supporters in Michigan.
They've been trying to impeach me from day one. They've been trying to impeach me from before I ran.
The White House says it's ready to go, however, whenever the articles of impeachment reach the Senate. Well, 2 Democrats broke with their party and voted against Article 1. 1 Republican voted in favor of it. Democrat and presidential candidate Tulsi Gabbard voted present, which basically means while she was there, she said neither yes nor no. Didn't state a position.
Yeah.
So, Randy, a quick question. We're hearing tonight that there are some House Democrats who want Speaker Pelosi to delay handing over the articles of impeachment to the Senate until they have some kind of a better understanding of how that trial will be run. What exactly does that mean? Such
an interesting development, Sarah. You know, the next logical step in this process is for the House to turn over the articles that passed today to the Senate, where the trial will be held.
He gave us no choice.
But there's nothing that says that that has to happen. That is, it's up to the House to decide when and if to turn over those articles. And so there are people, we are told, in the Democratic ranks who are thinking this may give them some leverage. Democrats have been saying for a long time they want more evidence. They want documents from the White House. They want witnesses like former White House National Security Advisor John Bolton, Acting Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney. They would like to see these people come in and testify. They're thinking they might be able to have some leverage if they wait to hold over those articles, because we know Mitch McConnell in the Senate wants to get this trial over with as quickly as possible. When pressed today, after the vote, the House Speaker simply said they want to see what the Senate has in mind before they transfer these articles over. And Adam Schiff said late tonight that it is clear to him that the American people want to see the evidence. So a lot is happening beneath the surface here. We'll have to see how it all plays out.
All right, Randy Page reporting live for us from the newsroom. Thanks so much.